That's Sterlite Tech in focus. 13 points, so absolutely flat kind of session so far. But stocks are moving around, and we'll kind of put the spotlight on some of that stuff in just a bit from now. We'll take a break, and we will come back with. Okay. We have, I think, Mitesh Thakkar joining us now, so we won't take that break a little later to analyze the markets from a technical perspective. This is, of course, charting trends. Mitesh, welcome back. Good morning. Good to have you with us here. Largely range, right? With little indication of either a breakout or a breakdown. What's your sense? I mean, is the probability sort of more skewed in either direction to your mind? Or we'll just let prices tell us?
So, Prashant, I think, starting from last week of December, we've broadly been doing 18,200 and 17,500. That was just before the budget when that fall happened. But otherwise, we've not had a directional leg, which is showing a big bias on any side. So my sense is that I think, the index, if you were to even look at the monthly charts and the weekly charts, most of the volatility indicators which were expanding when the market was making new highs around 18,600, 18,700 levels, I think they have started turning flat, and I think it clearly shows that next couple of months or next at least one and a half, 2 quarters would be spent in consolidation kind of a thing. So you can, I was looking at the long-term chart support pivots, and I think around 17,000, 17,050 is the long-term support area. And I think on the upside, this recent highs of 18,650, which was the weekly closing high, I think that becomes the counters, and I don't expect the market to do anything more than this range in the next 2 quarters or so, which is about 6 months from here.
Okay, I wanted your thoughts on some charts which are looking very good. Siemens, for example, has hit a fresh 52-week high this morning. It's up 2.5%, and now Siemens has rallied, 16% this year already. Mitesh, more upsides here?
Very likely. I think the stock is clearly in a medium to long-term uptrend. And, the last breakout happened sometime in first, second week of February when the stock started getting past the earlier highs of 3,100. And that momentum is clearly showing that there is many more higher highs and higher lows pending in the stock. I would very comfortably pencil in a target in excess of 3,600, 3,650 here. Though I think, if you were to extend the overall setup and look at, not retracement but extension targets, then I think the targets come around 3,900. So 3,900 is what I think the stock can do with if there's no negative news coming in the between, and that could take about 2 to 3 months from here.
All right, and any other stock ideas that you have for the hour or for the day?
So, given the fact that the index looks very ranged and the very similar outlook is what I can make on the Bank Nifty on the longer term charts, I was basically comping the mid cap space or the small cap space for trading ideas, and looking at stocks where some kind of medium to long term uptrend signals are there. And I've identified a couple of software names. Sonata Software, I think, completed a good rounding formation. It made a high of around 680 in August, September last year, and then corrected to about 460 odd levels, and then again has given a breakout about that 680 level last week. Now, the entire rounding formation gives you a target in excess of around 950 to about 990 odd levels, and I think keeping that as a target, I think the stock becomes accumulated at current levels. If you get a mild pullback to that 680, which was the breakout level, add more. And I suspect now it will be very difficult for the stock to break below 640, 630 levels, which were the earlier weekly pivots. So therefore, below 630 becomes your stop loss. So if you can, basically accumulate with an average price of around 700, you have a 10% kind of risk with a 35, 40% kind of an upside, which the stock can do in the next 3 to 4 to 5 months. Coming on to the next idea, which I have again.
Sorry, yeah.
That's right. Cyient is another one. I think the numbers this quarter were excellent, and that kind of started a medium to longer term uptrend, Prashant. The earlier monthly closing was around 1,050, 1,100. So that becomes a pivot. But I suspect once it breaks that, and I think the momentum indicators are suggesting that there will be a good and a very strong chance of a breakout, I think then the entire rounding formation will give you a target in excess of 1,350, 1,400 plus levels. So that's a buy accumulate as well. And I think any mild declines to about levels of 900, 920 would also be welcome buying opportunity or adding opportunity to your existing positions. And I think on the downside, I suspect 850, which was the monthly pivot made in the month of July, August of 2022, will not be broken. So that gives you roughly about 10% kind of a risk with about 35-40% kind of an upside.
All right, Mitesh, and what about Linde India? You know, that's been the big stock in the last few years. I've seen it move very swiftly. I think in COVID period it was around 500-600 rupees. From there it re-rated and it's holding on to those gains as well. What's the view out there?
I think, of course, that rally post the COVID period was excellent. But even in the recent few weeks, Nigel, the stock had, made what I would call as a good triangular pattern. It made a high of around 3,900, then went down to about 2,900, and then we saw a series of lower highs and lower lows. Basically, the entire movement was contracting within within two lines, which looks like a triangle, and it's broken out of that triangle last week. So this breakout, which was about 1,100 point kind of a triangle, the breakout happened at about 3,400 odd level. So it gives you roughly about a target of 4,500 to about 4,600, and if you add extension to it, with a strong possibility of stock heading towards 5,000. So that remains a buy. I think again, the stock on the downside will not now break below the 3,400 level. So you would want to buy it now a bit in parts, and then in case you get a pullback or a mild decline, add more. Keep a stop below 3,400, and I would suggest a target of 4,500 to begin with, but logically 5,000 is what I'm looking at.
GMM Pfaudler has corrected a little bit, Mitesh. What are your thoughts there?
Prashant, that's been a stock which is an excellent in the last few years. I think, a lot of fund managers have recommended the stock. But if you were to look at the longer term charts, it made a high of around 2,000 in the year of 2020, and then, corrected to levels of around 1,250 from there. And then post that, I think on multiple occasions, and if you look at the monthly chart, you can possibly see 5 or 6 candlesticks, when the level of 2,000 was tested, but a closing never happened above that. And now we are getting signs of a breakdown, which means that 2,000 becomes a very strong high for the stock. I think as a minimum, I would expect the stock to head towards 1,250, which was the low post the first high. If that gets broken, then we'll look at lower levels. But for the timing, if somebody has been holding GMM Pfaudler in their portfolio, good time to take profits over here.
Okay, all right. Thanks a lot, Mitesh, for that. We'll slip into a quick break on that note. On the other side of the break, Manisha Gupta will join in for a quick word on what's been happening in the world of commodities. Stay with us.